Say, wonder where my newspaper went. What are you doing in my newspaper, huh? Where's taking it now? 300 years old, you think you know better. You gotta ask before you could use somebody's possessions. Oh no! 300 years ago, we didn't even have newspapers. Oh. Look at this crap. They really want war, the right wingers. They want to have another war like the Vietnam War. What's Vietnam? Jesus. It's a restaurant down the street. Okay, now you gotta go to my library and take all my tapes and put them in alphabetical order. No! How can you ask a old man to do such a thing? Oh! Get going, get going. Get me sick. See? Do all that. Yeah, I ought to do this show by myself. Yeah. Very big country, America. Why don't you pick on somebody's own side? Start a war with Russia. You always go to these third world countries just to steal their oil. Have you any? Has anybody ever heard somebody say, "Hey man, I got some good meth from Venezuela. Venezuela meth." No, you never heard of it. Because it doesn't exist. They don't have drugs in Venezuela, you fuck. You just want an excuse to go and get your oil and everybody forget about, all together, everybody, Jeffry Epstein. Jeffry Epstein. Okay, today's subject is about war crimes. Okay? Let's get going. Oh, yeah. All right. Whoa. And now it's time for the Late Boomer Show, starring Stephen J. Morris. Yeah. Here I am. Today we're going to go over a little history to the present day. All right? We're going back to 1968. See that guy? Lieutenant Calley. He was in Vietnam and he made a war crime. Just like Israel, he thought it doesn't matter if you kill civilians. They are collaborators in the war. Doesn't matter if they're 2 weeks old or if they're 102. They're part of your enemy. So it's okay to kill women and children. And guess what Lieutenant Calley did? He murdered a bunch of old women, old ladies, mothers, and children, slaughtered them, left them spewed all over the dirt road, bleeding to death. And a lot of conservatives, they love that shit, man. They love killing things that they perceive as evil. If there's a God, he should put on the seal of approval, evil, seal of approval. But since God doesn't exist, mortal men decide who lives and whose dies. God has nothing to do with fighting communism. Matter of fact, his son, his gospel was kind of communistic. So he went in jail. He was found guilty. I don't know if he died of old age. I don't know what became of him. I really don't. But I remember my mom looking in a magazine. I think it was Time magazine, and had pictures of dead women and dead Vietnamese women and children. And my mom said, "Oh, I can't believe our country would do something like this." All right. Let's go to this guy. This is part of Trump's cabinet. Pete Hegseth. No, it's not headset. Hegseth. Trump, he really knows how to find his employees. How's he like them? How's he pick them? Does he go through files and resumes? No. He sees them on television. And Trump said one day, looking at the TV, "There's a guy who could run our military. He's good looking, and he's white." All right, he became, I don't know what he became, a lieutenant. He stood on a stage. They called all the generals around the world to have this meeting. And he's going around, this little punk in his 30s, lecturing these old generals who could have been his great-grandfathers, telling them what they're doing wrong. The military will no longer be woke. It was never woke, morons. You know why they got gays and women? And because nobody was joining the military. Idiots! No, because of woke. Woke. Fuck woke. He says, he made the announcement, no longer will we have woke. Well, the way they're going now, no longer will have conscripts. They'll have to draft people because nobody's going to want to join the U.S. military. Nobody. So Trump is all panicky now. He's sundowning. That means his dementia is getting worse and worse. That means you're going to go, and he sounds like a 10-year-old kid. You squeaky, eeky, dookie. what was he called? Quiet, piggy. You're a stupid person. This is what translate to masculinity. Some white people think if you're obnoxious and you insult people, you're strong and you're masculine. No, you're not. You're just an obnoxious fool. Somebody should put a gun to your head. Okay, so Trump needed a distraction because he was molesting little girls, allegedly. And Jeffrey Epstein became a thing. So he had a couple people assassinated, allegedly. And now he said, I need a war. I need a war. I know, Venezuela, they have a lot of oil there. He even said that he wants to go there. Regime change. You mean oil company change. Regime change. Corporate change. Regime change. So they started to, and nobody's verified that these hits were actually legitimate. There's no bodies, no no dead bodies, no any evidence that these boats were bombed. Well, there was so far it's 80 fatalities, 80 fatalities. Well, there was one fatality where they bombed and they didn't kill all the members of the dinghy boat. Actually, they're high-powered boats that you used to see. If you remember the TV show Miami Vice, he's how. But it's funny, you look at them, they had all these boxes piled up. It was fish. They were fishermen. Anyway, they bombed this one boat. There was two survivors. And Pete Hegseth, acting like he's a lieutenant, told the soldier in charge, kill him, bomb him. So he bombed him twice. Now, on international waters, there is no law. That's why we used to have pirates back in the 17th century. There was no, but there is. The waters are controlled by The Hague, a part of the United Nations, and they violated the laws of the United Nations. But we're America. I used to see these signs on the bus benches in Los Angeles saying, "Get America out of the UN, John Birch Society." Well, if nobody's going to patrol the international waters, then anybody could do whatever they want. If you want to kill somebody, just get a boat, kidnap the person, and kill them in international waters because there's no laws. Matter of fact, it's kind of like anarchism. No, not really. So he killed two innocent people. How do we know it's innocent? First of all, who's giving them the okay to bomb these boats? Who's the Secret Service? Was it CIA, Naval Intelligence? Who gave them the go-ahead to bomb these boats? Because they were trafficking drugs. We don't know. But Peter's going to go on trial. And it'll be interesting. If he gets convicted, well, guess who else is guilty? The president didn't do anything to stop him. He's responsible too. So it's a big deal. It's like Lieutenant Calley from 1968. Go read about Lieutenant Calley in the My Lai massacre in Vietnam. All right? Well, that's all I got to say today. Got to read my paper. Yeah. Rupert Murdoch owns this paper. The same guy that owns Fox News. Look at this stuff. Rash of, look at that one. Rash of Jew hate in store. Ooh. Oh my God, there's such crap in here. The clock is ticking for Maduro. You know, this tough guy shit is toxic masculinity. It's not right. Your God that flooded the earth and massacred millions of people, maybe billions, and pregnant women. God killed more pregnant women than any abortion clinic. So you better check out this God you worship. Seems like a dick to me. Okay. See you around. By the way, this is what death looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4.